Greetings and welcome to Chant a Day. I don't celebrate July 4th. You want to know why? It's a historical reason, okay? July 4th, according to Frederick Douglass, and there is a history, there is a story behind that. And this generation may not know it because it's been passed, the lie's been passed on and on and on. And some people do not celebrate July 4th because of many reasons. So,
The car is gone.
okay, good.
I was scared.
Yeah, me too.
But who car was it? It wasn't Preston.
I think so. Okay, don't say I'm on live. Okay, so what does July 4th mean to black people? Throughout the 1800s, black Americans used the July 4th to argue for emancipation and full citizenship, making the case that black citizens, free and enslaved, had as much right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as white people. But July 4th, black people were not allowed to go out in the streets. They were not allowed to do anything. So now it's justified, like, okay, we weren't allowed to do this, so now we are, let's go big it up. No, look at what the genesis or the preface is for July 4th. I look at July 3rd more as independence for black people than July 4th. July 4th was more to oppress and downpress black people. July 3rd is emancipation, when black people in St. Croix, Virgin Islands, came together and demanded their independence, demanded their free will. So isn't that more of an Independence Day than July 4th? For black people, I'm talking about, right? And this is in 1776. Now, you know, in 1776, enslaved Africans were in bondage. 1610, according to the Willie Lynch letter and making of a slave, 1610 was when 1619, they got dropped off. Point out there on the deck. It could be saved. In 1619 to 1614, the laws throughout Europe and the Americas removed all human individuality from abducted Africans and named them property. So when we take human bodies and use them for property, for free labor, for personal gain, it's happening today. It's called what is it called? The minimum wage. Anyway, in 1619 in Jamestown, Virginia, the first Africans were documented. We don't know if they were. They were documented to have arrived. They said arrived. They didn't arrive. They were friggin', captured. All right? They were friggin' captured. So when we look at July 4th, we look at the Declaration announced the political separation of the 13 North American colonies from Great Britain. And when you look at the July 4th, and we look at today, the Psalm today is Psalm 4. Psalm 4, righteousness answers I when I call. Always give thanks. Always answers I when I call. Someone told me, be careful what you pray for because it's going to happen. Yes, I pray for someone to meet someone, let them, be with someone because they deserve better. And that's ended up happening. So I want the best for people. I want the best for everyone. And in that, I find grace and I find compassion. Now, I'm going to have to put some people on timeout today because this is not Biden and Trump debate. It's not. And we're not looking at political politics on this channel. We talk about it. We talk about how nefarious it is and how the system of American politics is very corrupt. We talk about that. But I don't lean towards either Democrat, Republican, Independent. I am a child of righteousness. I'm married to that. Okay? So in that, whatever else is wrong, it falls to the side. Like one of the Psalms says, disappears like slime. Okay? So in the Psalm today, righteousness answers. When you call and you pray, I don't use the word pray, I use the word communication with the Most High, with righteousness. You're communing. You're not praying for yourself to be eaten by a predator, are you? So I don't want that word on me because I don't want to be ravaged by a predator. Okay? And the main predator out there, okay, is the system of this world. The enemy now is ourselves. We are our own worst enemy. We tell ourselves we can't do it. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not. That's an enemy telling you these things yourself. So stop. You are amazing. You are made in a wonderful way, in a blessed, highly favored way. So you do not have to downgrade yourself for someone else because they may not be where you are. You know, you have to really embrace what's inside, that goodness and mercy and righteousness that's there. So it is early in the rise. It's a 6 o'clock hour. I got to put some of my healing my healing painkiller oil on because mosquitoes. My sister said, you need to put mosquito repellent on this. It's also for that. So when I do my testing in the lab and I test this potency so that I can be able to market it, I'm going to add there that it's also a mosquito repellent. Seriously, it is. Put the painkiller oil on and put your hand in a bucket with mosquitoes. They're not going to want to come out on it to bite you because they don't like the fruit from this plant is so stink. Mosquitoes can't be around it. I put it in my Jeep to keep them away. I put it in different rooms. Yeah, it doesn't. Some people say it smells stink. My son just said it smelled good. My daughter loves the smell of it. Something about it. You know when you do aromatherapy? That's what it does. So the psalm today is righteousness is going to answer when you call. When you call up to righteousness, to goodness and mercy, like, help me, righteousness and mercy, right? Yes, you call on that. You know, there's lots of different names. My dad and my sister and we were talking yesterday. Go to my Facebook. You're going to see I have a live video of the festivities in the Virgin Islands on the island of St. John, where I'm currently doing my summer research program. And I went live yesterday. Richie Spice. Anyone heard of Richie Spice? He is amazing. He was performing. Wycliffe John was performing. I didn't stay up to see Wycliffe, but he was performing in the festivities. So Today they have the big parade. I may be in the parade because I'm a former royal. As you see, I have my shirt on. I'm a former royal queen from St. John, 1986. Just get my sash for me, please. That's right there. Look. From 1986. And I won the competition. I was 16 years old when I won. I was 16 years old in 1986 when I won Miss St. John. And I also graduated from high school in 1986. So July, I was on the float in the parade waving as Miss St. John and as a high school graduate. Can you imagine that? 16 years old, graduating from high school. So as you can tell, I've always loved learning, and I've always loved school, and I've always loved to learn new things. So we're 11 minutes in the psalm right now, and I haven't even started. So this is my introduction, and here we go. Psalm number 4, in honor of my son, Callis Russell Cuthbertson, Sunshine, aka Thomas DeLong, aka Mibrekesat, lightning, fire. So Psalm number 4, for the 4th, I always on the 4th, I do story time with Dr. Sewer. And in my story time, I honor my son, my first son who passed, to remember him because he began reading at 4 years old. He was born on the 4th. The doctor said that's his due date, January 4th, and he started reading at 4. Now, he didn't just start reading. I engaged him. He was my little student, and I just loved to see him learning. So every 4th of the month, I do a story time. It's a podcast. It's a live story time, and I share a story with the audience, an online audience. So I love that today is the 4th when I get to celebrate my son, not the oppression of July 1776. Okay, July 3rd, yesterday, I celebrated, and I have my Black Mermaid paintings that are on sale now for $1848. Okay, $1,848 for the original artwork by an original indigenous St. Johnian, me. Okay, I have to market myself in that way because many people are coming into St. John from different cultures, and it's fine. We're a melting pot, right? But then the local artist gets pushed to the side. I am not going to get pushed to the side. I big up Karen Samuel, local St. John indigenous artist. Avelino Samuel, local St. John indigenous artist. My summer workshop students have been very privileged and honored to be in their space. Every summer we go and visit a local St. John indigenous artist. This summer we're going to visit Avelino Samuel, who's been inducted into the Smithsonian for his woodworking crafts. So I'm excited about that. He was my elementary teacher. He taught woodworking, and I remember making a jewelry box. Amazing. We glued the pieces of wood together. We sanded it down. It was amazing to see something from nothing be made into something. I mean, children love to see that. So I'm excited about that. I want to show you what he made for the children the last time we went. He made this. He made a bowl. Look at that. He made a bowl, and out of wood, he turned it into this in front of the children's eyes. So they got to see something that was nothing get turned into something that is something. He also made a spin top right in front of their eyes. Amazing. So big up to Mr. Avelino Samuel. We're excited. I'm have to call him to confirm our meeting with him. Big up to the Friends of the Park for giving us bus transportation. I am very blessed and privileged to be part of this community that comes together to work together for the good of children and families. So let's get started with the psalm. That's my son in the background. He's my assistant. He works with me. He's my driver, my everything. So I'm thankful for him. And this psalm is for his brother, okay? And for all mothers out there who lost their sons or their children before they were old enough to even, have a life. So this is a psalm of David. And David always used the instruments. He always used the instruments. So I'm going to use the drum as my chanting, okay? Answer I and I when I call, oh righteousness, righteousness has given I relief when I was in distress. Be gracious, oh righteousness, to I and I. Listen to I and I communication with righteousness. That was verse 1. So you see how we could chant the psalm. I know I was kind of off key, I was off whatever, but as you perfect it, you can chant the psalm with your drum, with your instrument. So verse 2 is talking about human beings, but it refers to men. This is for men, for women, anyone. How long shall the righteousness's honor be turned into shame? Remember yesterday I read a psalm talking about the sacred garment and that we are a priest in the order of Melchizedek. This is where this is coming from here, right? How long will these ones turn the honor of righteousness and the order of Melchizedek and the sacred garment into shame? It's a shame what people are wearing out there in the streets. They're half naked. It just takes me to the time of Noah when he was building the ark and people were just, I could not go. I wanted to see Wycliffe John, but I couldn't go into that space. I stood outside and I videoed Richie Spice. There was a big TV screen outside so you can stand outside and look. So my point to speak about that is energy. I want to be around energy that is going to lift me up, not take me down where I'm knocked out in the five in the rise because I've been drinking. I've been out all night. I've been around energies that are low to the flow, and now I'm dragging in the rise. No, I want to be around energy that is positive. Shout out to my daughter, because when I was on live, she came on and I said, I love you. And she was like, I love you more. And she was like, you're beautiful. I said, thank you. You are blessed. And Trisha Moorhead, that's her. Trisha Moore, that's my booby. I love you. Mwah. So, a sweet person, the sweetest person you will ever meet is Trisha Moorhead, okay? So I shout out to her for shouting out to me on live first night when we went to the festivities. So, verse 2 is asking a question. And it's the second question in verse 2. How long will one's love vanity or vain words and seek after lies? Selah. So when we're talking about loving vain words, this is what the politicians throw at people, right? Slogans, right? They throw these slogans at folks. They throw these vain words and they seek after lies. So verse 3, know that righteousness has set apart the good for righteousness itself. That's why some people are alone, because they can't be around these other energies because they're not righteous. And let me tell you, righteousness is going to separate you from folks, whether you want to. And you could sit there crying all day that you lost a friend, you broke up with somebody, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? Righteousness is keeping you good. You may be sad now, but you're going to be thankful later, because people show themselves better than they can tell themselves. That's what Psalm 4 verse 2 verse 3 is talking about. No, verse 2. These vain words. People could talk the talk, but they can't walk the walk. A person could talk to a woman, giving her sweet words, and he's out there with another woman. Okay? So these are vain words. I want action. Show me better than you can tell me. Show me you love me. By what? Valuing me. When your family comes around or whatever, you put me first. Right? When you're doing something or you're spending $1 out of our household, you tell me, you say, look, babe, I want to buy this chewing gum for $1. Okay, let's see what we got going on with our finance. Oh, maybe we can shovel something around. But you work together is my point. You don't go taking from the household to give to John, Paul, and Susan and Mary, and your household is suffering. Charity begins at home. It does. It starts right there. So when you're in a relationship, you got to have boundaries. People don't got boundaries. They don't got boundaries. You got to have boundaries. You got to have the respect. Okay, I'm not going to talk to you crazy. I'm not going to talk to you like this. I'm mad and I'm upset, but I'm going to, people use people as sounding boards. Like they get all their stress and problems out off of a person and leave the person with nothing. What are you giving the person? You're giving them your stress and your problems. The person's not a therapist and licensed to know how to deal with stuff like that. So we have to be more one love. Like Damian Marley talks about one love in terms of for humanity. For that person who is homeless on the side of the road. You don't look down on, you pick him up, you say, blessed greeting, rise up, something. Acknowledge people. Don't walk over a homeless person. Come on now. Who does that? People do it. So in verse 3 is powerful because righteousness is going to set you apart. Righteousness is going to set righteousness apart for the good. Okay? For the good. Righteousness is going to set apart for those who are righteous for righteousness itself. So righteousness listens when I call. Oh, look, Sarai.
Torch, that's what you're supposed to be doing, Galah.
I don't want it to go there. This is sad. I'm so glad I didn't. I was busy.
You would have been on Facebook, on TV, and everything.
Yeah,
promote. I should never come and get you.
Yeah, but anyway.
You tricked me.
My son is talking about the event yesterday with the royal queens, and they had a torch lighting through the street.
You said you come to get your lipstick.
I came to get my lipstick, and then it turned into I never returned.
This is Spend time with your family.
I want to spend time. My dad just came in, right? My dad just came in. We might even do. Look at my son, handsome. Do you think Hulu gonna want him? Yes, Hulu, Netflix. We gonna do a reality show, y'all. Stay tuned because.
Charlotte made them pancakes so good.
Mhm.
And Jemima.
Yeah. My son cooks. He's making pancakes right now with banana. He actually squeezed some mango in the pancake. I was like, mango banana pancake?
There's some more though. You can
What?
send me the mango.
Uh, just delicious. So my son is righteousness. I'm using him as an example. He's been set apart for righteousness' sake. All right. And the Most High, that is righteousness, listens when my son calls for righteousness, when anyone calls for righteousness. So in verse 4, this is important. Verse 4, be angry and do not sin. Ponder in your own hearts on your resting place and be silent, Selah. So I did this yesterday because I was angry. You know, I felt certain things going on and I did not go and sin. I didn't go and beat somebody up or, you know, yell at someone or do something to someone. I pondered in my own heart and I took a nap. I rested and I was silent. Selah and Selah again. So in this next verse 5, we're going to offer righteous sacrifices, okay? Offer righteous sacrifices. So sometimes the right thing to do, you may not want to do it because it's like, I'm getting nothing out of this. However, when you offer that righteousness, it's sacrificing yourself for the cause of righteousness. You're going to get that return. It's going to come snowballing at you. And you're going to be filled with the abundance of righteousness. I'm telling you, it's happening for me right this minute. I'm not going to tell y'all what exactly it is, but it's happening in my life. All right? And it's about to snowball into something so amazing that it's going to help children and families, parents, adults, anyone. It's going to help educators, teachers, principals, schools, districts. People are going to be, this is going to revolutionize how people look at the growth of a human being, period. And I have the algorithm in my brain. You cannot copy this idea because, like my mom said, what is for you is for you. Not even the river can come and take it from you. So if something didn't go through for you, it wasn't for you. It wasn't. When something is for you, it happens in an order. Things go in order for it to happen. So trust, okay? Offer righteous sacrifice and trust in righteousness. Trust in that goodness, in that mercy, in that love. I'm smelling breakfast potatoes brewing in the kitchen, in the library / kitchen. So trust. Verse 6. There are many who are going to tell you they're doubting, they're not optimistic, they're pessimistic. They're going to tell you, who going to show you any good? Who is going to show you any good? Who going to do this for you? Who going to show you this? That's what many people are talking. Well, lift up the light of the face of righteousness upon I and I, O righteousness. Okay? So the question in verse 6 is, there are many who are going to talk who will show us some good. Lift up the light of the face of righteousness upon I and I. So I want to see that righteousness's face. I want to be married to that. I want to have that for myself, within myself. I want to conquer the bad with the good. I want to conquer the right I want to conquer the wrong with the right. Okay. I want to conquer that. Like I said in couple Psalms, like a crack addict going after crack, I'm going after righteousness. I'm going to look for it in different pockets of the place. When I went down to the festival and the celebration for July 3rd, yesterday, they had the reggae night. And, you know, I got some love. People came up to me. They showed me some love. I look at that as the face of righteousness. Okay, as long as you show love and kindness, you have that face of righteousness. Okay, show me that. Let me see that. So in verse 7, and we have two more verses, 7 and 8. Righteousness has put more joy inside of my heart than when I had money and a bunch of stuff that materially. Okay? Righteousness puts more joy inside of me than any $100,000 in my account can do.
100,000.
Seriously. Yeah, you can make you happy, you can be, good about it. However, righteousness puts joy inside of you. So when you don't have 100,000, you're still joyful. When you do have it, you're joyful. So money or material things doesn't make you or break you, right? You are standing firm in that righteousness no matter what. No matter what. What? Oh, goodness, fire eye. So we have to do that. We can't let the lack of something make us unhappy. Like if you feel, oh, he is going to make me happy. I want that husband. He's going to make me happy. And then you get him and then he does something that doesn't make you happy and you attack him like he's the reason for your unhappiness now. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're supposed to already be happy. And when you get with someone, you're just adding to their happy. You're not taking away from their happy. You're adding to it. That's what I've always wanted to be for a person, to add to their happiness. Okay? In verse 8, as we end the psalm, verse 8, it starts off in peace. I don't use peace. Peace is the diploma you get in the cemetery. Rest in peace. I don't use that word. So when we're talking about peace, I'm talking about tranquility, something that is calm. That is what it means. But it also means the certificate that you get in the cemetery, rest in peace, stamped and done. So because I use words very carefully and I purify the word in the fire 7 times, I am going to look at that word now as, wait a minute, I don't want to be in a confusion with this word that means something different and that I can use it for something different. Some people said, but it's, what your intention is behind the word. Yeah, but the word has a vibration, people. The word has a vibration. When you speak it out, it's going to be the same, whether it means different or not. It has the same vibration. Peace. Rest in peace. It has the same vibration. So why not use words that are going to liberate and uplift, right? Because they don't want you doing that. If you're going to use words to liberate and uplift, you're not going to need the system. You're going to go plant your own food. You're going to go, you know what I mean? The system going to crumble. They're not going to have nobody to lie to anymore because you've already been woken up. So many are called, but few are chosen to really live in one love and righteousness with humanity. Okay? Many are called to do that. There's pastors, priests who are called to do these things, but they're molesting children. Okay? So yeah, many are called, but few are chosen to actually be separated from the foolishness and be around the righteousness. Okay? So I am going to, in calmness and in tranquility, I am going to rest up, okay? For righteousness alone is what makes me to dwell safely, okay? Righteousness alone. You can call it what you want. You can call it God, Lord, Jesus, Jehovah, Jireh, Selassie the First, Rastafari, Menelik, Omnipresent. You can call it what you want. That's your business. Nobody should tell you what to call your righteousness and goodness and mercy. If you want to call it Papa Boje. My mom, she speaks French, okay? So people, stop discriminating because somebody calls Selassie the First and somebody calls God or somebody calls Jah. I mean, come on. Are they living in the righteousness? Are they showing righteous actions? Okay. But are they out there beating their woman and calling on Jah? Are they out there molesting a child and calling on Jesus? What are they doing? So you cannot be the judge and executioner and put people on the firing squad. Okay? The Christians back in the day did that. If you didn't call a certain name, they about to put you down. Okay? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego that story is sticking because it's so powerful. Okay? It's so powerful. So when we look at dwelling safely, it's righteousness that keeps you dwelling safely. You can put a face on it and put a white man with blonde hair, blue eye, and call him Jesus and say that's who's protecting you at night. That's fine if you want to do that. But behind that and underneath it is mercy, it's compassion, it's righteousness. It is love to the fullest. Yes! Yes! You heard it? You heard it first here. Subscribe to this channel, y'all. You're going to find positive things. Thunder just rolled out the sky as I'm talking. Thunder just rolled out the sky. So righteousness alone is going to make I to dwell safely. Call it what you want to. It's going to make I dwell safely. Leave him alone. Because he smiled, you're doing that to him. So that is our psalm today. Selah and Selah again. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart always be acceptable in the sight of what is righteous, in the sight of what is merciful, in the sight of what is compassion, in the sight of what is graciousness, in the sight of what is one love, in humanity, for respect and honor and integrity. That is what we are looking at, okay? When we look at now the word of the day, let's find the word of the day. Yes, I do. I do have headphones. Right here. So let's see. Oh, the word of the day today is free. Oh my goodness. The word today is free, everybody. Free, everybody. That's the word today, free. And they are using this word today because it represents July 4th independence. But everybody wasn't free.
I'm free.
During the independence, everybody was not free. They weren't free. So I'm grateful now to be free in righteousness, right?
You say we're not free.
I am grateful to be free now in righteousness because in 1776, when the independence of the 13 colonies away from Great Britain happened, they were still enslaving folks. So how can you talk about independence for just a certain group of people? And then the laborers, the free workers who you enslaved, they can't celebrate the independence because they're not independently from you. So you got your independence in order to enslave black people. You separated from Great Britain so that you could control the black slave narrative. That's what that was really about, folks. So, in the word today, free, I am grateful to be free to be able to talk about this today. Okay? So, when I have struggled for release from oppressive circumstances, when I have wished for relief from burdens or being free from limitations, it's likely I have felt frustrated and disappointed. December 2023 and January 2024, I asked to be free. Free from a relationship that doesn't value me. Free from a relationship that does not put me as a team member in the relationship, okay? Even though the relationship, we were separated from each other, I was working out outside the home. So I asked to be free from that, and it happened, okay? Even though it happened February, March, April, May, June, 5 months later, it still happened. I'm grateful because even though I still love the person, I will love them from a distance because I know they're not equipped or able to love me fully in a way that they can value me and put me, as their ride and live. Other people are their ride and live. I'm not. So I had to step aside. So I'm thankful that I have been freed from the burdens and from oppressive circumstances. When I realize and claim a righteous free will, that I loosen the tight grip of worldly situations, in righteousness, I am free. At the level of righteousness, nothing binds me. As a divine being, I am in the world, but not of the world. Drop the mic on that one. My throat is happening. It's too much fire. Too much fire out there. So as I carry the awareness that I am a divine being, I feel newly serene. I choose to meet life from a righteous center. Like you center yourself and groundation in righteousness. That's what spirit means. It means you're standing firm in righteousness. You're irids. You're right. You are righteous. You are good. So empowering myself with affirmative thoughts and a positive attitude. So affirmative thoughts, thinking good things about yourself and having a positive attitude. This is the key to your free will. This is your key to your free will. And no one and nothing can take that free will from you. When you have worldly situations that may not have changed, but you have. Your worldly situations may not change. The world is still messed up. But guess what? You have. You're going to change for the goodness. You are going to change for righteousness. You're going to change for mercy, right? From this place of empowerment, I am eternally free. Eternally free. I shall walk at liberty, for I have sought the precepts of righteousness. Psalm 119, verse 45. I shall walk at liberty, for I have sought the precepts of righteousness. And what is precepts? Let's look at what precepts means real quick because we're almost at the end. Precepts is a general rule intended to regulate behavior or thought. So it's a rule to help you keep yourself good, okay? So seek after that, like a crack addict seeking after crack. Seek after regulation of your behavior. Remember, I said your behavior creates your destiny. How you behave today is how you're going to end up tomorrow. So you need to have that seeking after that rules of righteousness. And that is intended to regulate your behavior and your thought. Remember, you want to empower yourself with affirmative thoughts and a positive attitude. So precepts are behaviors and thoughts. They're rules that are intended to regulate these behaviors and thoughts. Okay? So that is our psalm today. Psalm 4. The word today is free. I love the word today as being free because that's what we are. That's our goal, is to embrace our free will. Embrace our free will. So the verse today is coming from Psalm 33 verse 12. Blessed is the nation whose righteousness is righteousness. The people righteousness choose, for righteousness' inheritance. Remember, righteousness will exalt a nation. Righteousness gonna exalt a nation. Wrongness gonna bring the nation to its knees, which is what's happening today. Okay, the USA, the Europe, okay, Africa. You don't know what's going on in the midst of Africa. Balenciaga up in Africa. The Africans are buying all this stuff. Like, wait, what is happening? So we are lost in this. Yeah, everybody in Africa isn't, but I'm just the few that I've been meeting have been. Okay, so blessed is the nation whose righteousness is righteousness, and the people that righteousness chooses for a inheritance. You are going to inherit righteousness, mercy, love, and kindness. You're going to inherit that once you are planting the seeds of righteousness. Plant the seeds of goodness and mercy. So as we end the Psalm 4, Psalm 4 today, righteousness answers when I call. Okay, that's the Psalm today. The verse today, blessed is a nation whose righteousness is righteousness, the people that righteousness choose, for righteousness is inheritance. Okay, that is the verse today. And then we have the word today that is free, coming from Psalm 119 verse 45. So, well, not coming from, but Psalm 119 verse 45 is supporting the word today, free. And the key to being free is that your positive thoughts and a positive attitude is going to keep you free. And no one and nothing can take that from you. Remember that. Selah and Selah again. Thank you so much for joining the Psalm, Chant a Psalm today. As we outro, I wanted to outro with Steel Pulse. I want to big up to Richie Spice and Wycliffe John. I wonder if they're staying on St. John or they went to St. Thomas to the hotel. I wonder, where they are staying. So let's get the negative behind us and come forth with positivity. Chant a psalm a day, folks. Selah and Selah again. Have a blessed day, everyone. I may be going to the Bay. I may not. I don't know. We will see. But subscribe to this channel so you can get notifications of when I'm at the Bay so you can join me. Have a blessed day. You is not done. Rasta.